Alright guys, welcome to the bonus series on the 4-course bundle on trade management. Okay, sorry for a slight delay on this release, but it's better late than never. So we're here now. We want to touch bases on, well, what is trade management and why trade management? How is this going to benefit you or me or anybody who's trading? Okay, for the most part, trading is split up into two categories, right? One category being swing trading, which is you're working part-time and you're just trying to pick out the scenarios. You're building up the odds in your favor, saying, okay, according to my research, the markets are going to go long. If it's going to go long, according to my research, I should go long from here. Okay, that's a theory of swing trading. Okay, if you speed that up a little bit, okay, trade management basically tells you you're not looking for a pattern, a design, but you're rather more trying to feel the heartbeat of the market. You know, like just imagine that heart beating, like boop, 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 boop. And if it beats faster, you feel it. If it beats slower, you feel it. Okay, it's almost like feeling the presence of some big players coming in or some big players leaving. Okay, hope that makes sense. So for trade management, I want to ask you guys this one question. Okay, are you simply looking for direction in the market and executing it, or actually are you reading the signs of what the markets are trying to tell you? Okay, an important part of this is what happens, as we discuss in the MDR, the motivational and daily routines, and type of trader. You need to be careful with this, because to do trade management well, you need to be solid in the brain. You need to be solid in the brain. Okay, it doesn't mean, oh, I'm not solid, so I should not do it. No, try it. Maybe, who knows, this might be your instinct that you can pick up on this very easily. Okay, and I want you guys to let me know in the comments as you go through this course that, is this something that you thought maybe you couldn't do, but you're actually enjoying it and you're like, oh, I think I'm picking up on this. Okay, you never know, because I used to think that, isn't this for scalpers? Like, isn't that gonna make me lose control? Actually, I became really good at it, and I was day trading. I was trading 3 minutes and 1 minute charts on the futures market. So, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to teach you how to scalp here. I'm trying to teach you how to pick up on the rhythm. Now, this can be used for any moments of the market. Okay, so it requires a full understanding of your skills. Okay, you need to understand your skills very, very well. How do you normally trade? You need to know that like that. Okay, so if you are saying, okay, normally I wait for a trend to happen, then I wait for a pullback to happen, I wait for the legs to slow down, I wait for a consolidation, I wait for a V formation, the left side of the V versus the right side of the V, I need a test, I need a spike out, all of this stuff. All of the stuff that you're waiting for, looking for, needs to be ready in your mind like that. Okay, which means the training that you've learned so far in the MPA and the 4-course bundle needs to be available to you on the spot. Okay, so keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. So you need to be very quick to understand what's the scenario is. Another thing, a very dangerous and very important thing. Okay, remember how I always say this in all the mind educational courses that I do. When it comes to the mind, once you activate the trade, your brain is hijacked. Correct? So let's say you're doing a sell, right? So you're like, okay, Euro USD, I'm gonna do a sell. And as soon as you go into that sell in the Euro USD, you see a buy coming, but you actually don't see it. You're just thinking, temporary pullback, it's going to continue down. Then it goes up a little bit more, it's okay, it's going to continue down. Comes down a little bit, yes, it's going to go down more. Your brain is so fixated on the sell side because it's looking for that chemical that you release in your body when the sell actually does happen, because you feel great, because you were right. Right? How many times when you're in an argument with your friend, your spouse, your whatever it is, and you're like, trust me, this is what you want to do, and they're like, you're crazy, man. And when it does happen the way you said it would, how do you feel? Next time you follow my advice, I feel good now. I get the ego boosting up there, right? Same thing happens in trading. You are raising your ego and challenging your own self by saying, I know it's going to go for a sell, it better go for a sell. And we hate to admit we can be wrong. Okay? So this is a common problem with a lot of the traders. So what we need to be is solid in the mind. We need to know all of our resources that we have on how to trade, instantly available. And because we know, okay, it's not a theory, it's a guaranteed thing that once you activate your trade, 99% of the people's brains are hijacked. Okay? So which means anything that you do prior to your activation of the trade is real analysis. Anything after, if you do not have control over your mind, you are now gambling. Which means one thing. Prior to your trade, if you say Euro USD is going to be a sell, I want you to start developing scenarios. Okay, I see it's a sell from here all the way to here. Why? Because of blah, 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 blah. Scenario number 2. What if it spikes and turns around and starts to go north? How would you react then? Write it down. That's your plan B. Okay, what about a plan C? What if it tries to go into profit, but it goes partially midway because of some support resistance or whatever reason, or a news or something? You're aware of these scenarios and you're like, it can go in my favor, but what if it doesn't go all the way to what I expected? Scenario 3. Write it down. Write it down. You are now preparing your mind to prepare for multiple outcomes instead of just one outcome, that it's a bloody sell and it better sell. Okay, don't force the market like that. It will kick you. Do not do that. Okay, so be careful. Be careful. Okay, another thing. Okay, you want to be aware of the terrain. Now, what does that mean? What do you mean to be aware of the terrain, Naveen? Okay, now what I mean by be aware of the terrain is you want to read the signs of the big boys, and I'm going to show you how to read the signs of the big boys. So I wanted to make this first video in camera format. As you guys can see, I look very red. I don't know why, but it's okay. We don't need to look pretty in this. We just want to get the point across. We want to get to the bottom line of this. So in the next video, we're going to go into how do you feel the rhythm of the big player. What does it mean? What does it mean to hold? What does it mean to lift? What does it mean to lift and then come back and hold? What does all this stuff mean? I'm going to go in and I'm going to teach you all of that stuff piece by piece, one by one. I'll see you in the next video.